Was that Ann? I was telling her, I said, she's doing my presentation.
Oh, forgive me.
Oh, no. Why forgive you? That means we're connected, one mind. Why I'm here, I'd like to start with everyone. Please participate with me. We're going to do something real quick. How do I like this? Well, I can do it. I want you to follow Miss Linda and I, if you would, stand up and get a partner. Five seconds. Stand up, get a partner. We're going to talk the words to lean on me. It goes like this.
I'll sit right here.
Lean on me when you're not strong. And I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till you're going to be somebody to lean on. Okay?
Chad got a million names.
Yeah. Can we do that? We're going to do it real fast. So, 1, 2, 3. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. So, why do you think I did that? I'm gonna give you a question, and I'm gonna ask you if you will just take a few seconds to think about the answer. I'm gonna put a question out there. Someone said this, and I want to say it right. They said, we sink, we swim, we rise, we fall, we meet our fate together. And then they asked a bunch of children to stand, but they only asked the white kids to stand. And then they said, these kids, our children, are here because they have no place else to go. Otherwise, they would have abandoned us a long time ago. Does anyone have any idea where that quote came from? 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Joe Clark, played by Morgan Freeman in the movie Lean on Me. Well, Northwest and the Northeast side are in similar straits as East Side High. I teach at F.D. Moon Elementary. Less than a month ago, we were told that it would be consolidated. They wanted to consolidate F.D. Moon, which is the largest school. We had 500 students. But they wanted to take that building, split the kids, close it up, and put them into Edwards and Thelma Park, who can only accommodate about 200, 250. You're taking 500 plus already 4. Now, think back. In 2013, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I came here in 2013. In 2013, they declared the Northeast side to be blighted. They also began to do renewal, construction. So they're closing our schools. They're consolidating our schools if we allow, but we fought. Voices came together.
Amen.
Churches stood up.
Yes.
Community leaders stood up. Advocates stood up. People stood up and said no. Edgemere, over in the Paseo district, they said no. Gatewood, they said no. They had invested $250,000 in the Paseo district, and they said no. So guess what they did? We'll give you till the winter. That's a stay of execution, people. That is not we won't consolidate. They're still looking for ways. So here's what's going to happen. I'm a teacher. I have right now 23 students. This is the least amount of students I've ever had since I've been in Oklahoma City. I had 30 at one time. When I had 30 little first graders, I love the first grade because that is the foundation. If you can put it in them in the foundation, by the time they're in the 3rd grade, you have no problem with them reading. I brought some of my folders. I have kids that's reading at 3.3, 3.5 level. They're in the 3rd grade. I test them. I say, this is your level. This is where you are. You're doing great, do better. Here's what you need to do. Here's the problem that I have. My parents either don't know what to do, don't know how to do what it is that it is to do, or they don't have the heart. Their heart just doesn't understand. So we need you. We need you. We need each and every one of you. As she said, the goal of this project with OSET, I only made about 8 copies and then I left some. If you'd like, you can pass this around. It's a PowerPoint, because I don't think you guys can see this, and I didn't know if I'd have a projection to project on it, but the goal of this project is to empower the Oklahoma City community to take back your schools. These are your schools, whether you've got a child in there or not. The Paseo district consists of people who look about my age. We don't have babies. I'm almost 60. We don't have babies. We have grandbabies, but we don't have babies. Paseo district is taking care of their district because they want their schools to be great. It's not their kids. Most of the kids who come from outside. Out of 160 some odd students, maybe a third of them live in that district. But they're taking care, and they took it back. I worked at North Highland. I was there when it changed. She told you the truth. We must take it back, because when a principal, F.D. Moon has a fabulous principal. I love my principal. He's been there 4 years. He cannot stay anymore unless we fight to keep him, and then maybe not. It takes 3 years to really build up. The object and the idea is not to have successful schools. Our competitive analysis shows charter schools are coming, and charter schools are great. I taught in charter schools. I love charter schools. Here's the thing. Not every child can be in a charter school.
Right. That's right.
Not every parent can be in a charter school, a magnet school. Because if you cannot volunteer, and if you're ADHD, if you have all of these other things that I teach, you cannot sit still. I have kids. I have a little boy that's on level N. Level N is 3.5, 3.3. He's first grade. I make him a leader because I want him to understand, and maybe one day somebody will help him and he can be a president. But right now, he cannot sit still. He spins around. He does everything but sit. But he can read at a 3rd grade level with comprehension, with expression, and they know what those words mean. Here's what I'm asking you to do. Join with Mr. Mack, with Miss Ann. We want the North Highland District, and we want the Moon, FD Moon, Northeast, Northwest. Those are the 2 areas we're aiming, because there must be a pilot. And you must come in, because the Oklahoma City Public School District will not let a principal stay after 3 years unless there's something major that happens. They have to leave. I know I started. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will be glad to answer any questions. I went through this pretty fast. I do have handouts. What I did was I talked to volunteers, I talked to the principal, I talked to churches. Churches, you are, that's what, I mean, really and truly you are the community. We want to be the change we hope to see. What will this do? If you are a volunteer, here's my hope. 30 kids in my class. 6 of them are super high. 6 of them are on A. A is pre-K. That's pre-K level. That means they cannot read. They can't even say their alphabet without singing it. You can either come in the classroom, work with either 5, I think no more than 5 at a time. 5 kids that are super low, or 5 kids that are super high, or 5 kids that's in the middle that you want to push up. We are looking at getting a reading room. North Highland has one. Moon has an extra one. We're looking at getting a room. Volunteers can come, be engaged in every class. As she said, maybe you can only come for 1 hour on a Wednesday, but there's somebody else in the church who can come for 1 hour or 30 minutes, and you can engage those kids, because the plan is we did not consolidate, but we will increase class sizes. We will increase class sizes, and we will decrease teachers. Therefore, more students, less teachers. If you pull 5 kids out of my classroom, I can now engage. If you sit with them, I can now engage 25. But if I've got 30 and Johnny and whoever over here, and can you please sit down? Okay, 3, 2, 1. I just lost 20 minutes of teaching time of my 90-minute lesson. So we need you. We need you to come together. We need you to volunteer. We need you to really pull your strength, work with Mr. Mack here, come together and be in, and what will it do? They can't say we don't have the funds. Because if a church is volunteering, if a church is giving the time, we're doing it.
Got a question.
Yes, sir.
So, how would it help people to volunteer, let's say 40 minutes for recess? Would it help you?
If you can do, today, I did not have a break because we had several teachers out. The district was walking through. My team member takes them to recess. I do lunch duty. Just imagine.
But she needs help though. That one person not enough.
And so that's why I didn't have a break.
See.
I had 8 extra kids in my class. She had about 7 or 8 in hers. So we've got 3 class sizes out there at recess. So I went out and I stood out there with her because we have to work as a team. Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Angela, my name is Sherry Miles, and I'm with the West Kids Program. We're in your school.
Yes, you are. Thank you.
My director had to leave early. She was here also. But my question to you is, when we present this to our individual churches, and we speak on the help that's being needed, the first step for them to do would go online to do the background check. Then they're able to come in just to the school with Mr. B.
Here's the thing. This is a proposal that I want to take. Ms. Linda said it exactly correct. We need to come together, have guidelines, have strategies, because in Georgia, here's what we did. I've had a program similar to this. If I am over ABC Church, and I'm going to be there, and you have a reading room, and you have someone who is cleared or a teacher in that reading room, you've already, you know your congregation. Maybe he has a felony, but he didn't hurt any kids or beat anybody up. He might have been 17 and got caught in a car with a marijuana cigarette. Am I saying it right? My kids say I say that wrong. And they do. Mama, they don't call it that no more. Or maybe this gentleman right here, maybe he, had where he did fight the police or something. But, that was 17 years ago. Well, he can make copies. He can come and make copies. He can't interact with kids. We go in prisons. You can take, if you've got the group, but you've got to put it together. You have to say, we have someone, we are clear, we've got to get Oklahoma City to change that because our parents have felonies.
That's a problem.
Our parents, and my parents can engage my kids
Okay.
because I'm in there with them.
With that being said, we do all our background checks on track 1. And for right now, I'm talking about for this coming up week, to get help in the school, the first step is going online to get that background check done.
If you're an individual, that's definitely, everyone should do that.
Right.
Everyone should get the background check. However, there are some people who will not pass.
Absolutely.
And those people are some of my best volunteers.
Absolutely. With those people, we do, when they want to come with whiskey, we have them in the kitchen. Or somewhere else, and they're always a lookout, and it's my responsibility at those sites to do the looking out. Like you said, could it be a felony from 10, 20 years ago? We get a credibility letter from the pastor. And that's something that may want to be introduced to. You do a credibility letter, the pastor said, I've been with.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying.
I personally recommend them that they're okay.
And that's
with
what I'm
that.
saying. Miss
So
Ann
those
could bring a
people-
group of people. Here's something that most of you may not be aware, because as a teacher the first year, I wasn't aware. Every child has 100 copies per month that they can make. So when I was paying at FedEx to make copies, you have a child in my classroom, you can make your child's, I had taught my first graders how to go make copies, but a parent can make those copies, so you can copy.
10 cents at the library, FedEx was 25.
Free if you use your child's 100
That's right.
copies.
Free
They
if you
go
use
to
them.
the trash.
Their name.
Most of them don't get used. Yes, ma'am.
Every classroom?
Every child, every scholar in the Oklahoma City public school system has 100 copies every month that they can make. We have 1,000, they have 100. I got 23 students. I got 2,300 plus my 1,000. I never run out.
All right.
You've got to tell your teachers that. Most of them don't know it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I went online and I watched the volunteer and I only put, North Highland down.
Mhm.
So to be a volunteer, it has to be noon, do I need to?
Once you are cleared,
Once you clear all of them, okay. Because they have on there where you have to choose the school that you want to go to.
yeah, but once you're cleared with Oklahoma City Public School, you can go to Oklahoma City Public
I
School,
think you're on
any
the
place.
whole, you're in the whole list, right? Because I know I'm at Green Pastures right now.
But you can come over there and walk, she'll tell you, Miss Linda has brought people in my room, they bought water bottles, my kids are still using. They love them.
Angela,
Yes, ma'am.
what